Thank you for that performance. It was beautiful. Viewers, welcome to your favorite show, Pink and Purple. My name is Tembi Pidai and I'm your host. So today on the show, we're going to discuss a very, very interesting topic, media, social media, the influence upon this generation now, the impact, and a whole lot more. And I do have in studio two beautiful ladies, Tammy Scozel and Amanda Hove. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
It's so good to have you in studio. Maybe would you like to introduce yourselves, starting with you, Tammy?
Okay, well, I am Tammy Scozel. We have been living in Zimbabwe for the last 8 years.
All right.
We immigrated, and I volunteer to help children and self-sustainable projects.
All right, interesting. Amanda?
Okay, I'm Amanda Hove. I finished my A-level last year.
Okay.
And I'm looking into studying into software engineering.
Okay, interesting. So today, ladies, we want to discuss social media and media generally. What does it mean to you? What's your understanding of media? When we talk of media, Amanda, what comes into your mind?
Okay, I think media is a social platform where we just discuss and we entertain ourselves and we communicate, not just as young people, but then everyone in general.
Okay.
It's a platform where we communicate and entertain. It's a different world generally.
All right.
That's what I think.
Okay. All right. Tammy.
For me, I use it to stay connected with some friends and also to let people know. I use it as a fundraising platform, so around the world.
All right. Okay. So I have you, Amanda, right? You just finished your A-levels. You're a young person. And Tammy.
I know. Just say it. Just say it.
No, you're not old. I was just going to say, and I have you, Tammy. This is two different generations right here.
Okay,
Let's talk about your generational gap. Let's talk about media during your times, Tammy, in the 60s, 70s, 80s. You know, what was it like, media generally?
We didn't have it. The only media that we would have had in those times would have been just TV. So that would have been about it. And then the media would have been newspapers.
Yeah.
So there was no internet until
Seriously?
Yeah, until around the late 80s. Yeah.
All right, you wouldn't have survived then, I'm
No,
sure.
no. Newspapers.
Newspapers.
Like when you want to talk to someone, like you have to go and report by the newspaper people.
Yeah. Well, you don't talk to them. You just get all your information from them.
there. Okay.
Yeah, you
All
wouldn't
right.
have responded.
And what was the influence of that media to you? How did it influence you in any way?
Well, you would have the advertisements, you know, so I mean, you would still, there was magazines, there was, you know, different sorts of ways to get your information.
Right.
So you would find out what the latest clothing was. You know, it just wasn't as fast and as invasive as what you're getting now.
All right, let's move on to your generation.
Well, my generation is hype, guys. We've got Instagram, we've got Twitter, we've got Facebook, we've got WhatsApp, we've got Mix. It's a lot. It's a lot that's going on in our generation. And basically, it's not just a platform where we just post pictures and we chill and we do nothing. It's a platform where we also market our stuff because as young people, we are also into stuff like photography, modeling, and other things like cooking and stuff. So in social media, I'm able to advertise my stuff. If I cooked something proper and well, I'm like, oh, guys, look at this. It's proper.
Post.
Guys, I post. And then, you know, you get likes. If I don't get likes, then it means, oh, okay, no, this wasn't proper. I need to do
Good
something
enough.
else. And then I delete the post. And then I repost another one. That's what I do.
Okay, all right. You said something earlier that you really newspapers in your times. How do you think you'd have felt living in her generation?
I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. Okay, fine, we've got newspapers now, I understand. But then it's not a place where we communicate together. The newspapers are just giving us information, but then we cannot respond.
But there is something you just mentioned when you said that if somebody doesn't like what you said, you delete it and start over.
And start over, yes.
Yeah.
So your whole security then, your whole identity has to go on whether or not all of your friends like what you're
liking,
doing.
yeah.
And if they don't like it, then you feel bad about yourself. And
Yeah.
then you delete it.
Yeah, of course.
And you're embarrassed.
Of course, I'm major
Even if
embarrassed.
it's food.
Even if it's a shoe, I'm actually embarrassed. Okay, no, guys, these people don't appreciate what I'm doing, so I need to step up my levels or something else.
So all of your identity then comes from what people think of you. You don't have an inner
No, I do.
security.
I'm trying to say that it's also a platform where we advertise our own things as well. Because like she said, back then you guys used to use the newspapers and the magazines and stuff, but then you didn't get a response. But then these days it's different now. I get a response. I need the response from the likes, the comments, and everything else. So if I'm getting the response, I know my way forward from there.
Okay. All right, viewers, we'll take a short break. It's really interesting. Join us after these messages. Welcome back to the show, viewers, and I'm still here with Tammy and Amanda having a heated conversation. So we're still discussing social media and media generally. Tammy, what do you think is the influence of social media now upon this generation? What are the impacts and effects from your point of view?
Well, one of the things that I seem to notice is that both of my daughters are in their mid-30s, and it seems they're pulling out of social media. There seems to be this giant competition. Whoever can show the most things or act like they have the happiest marriage or their life is the best, then it makes the other person feel bad or that they're not enough. And there's always constantly this comparison with one another, and that is not a healthy way to live your life. So that's one of the things that I have noticed.
All right, your daughters are in their mid-30s.
Mid-30s, yes.
So there is no particular age to social media.
No.
It affects everyone, right?
No, but I think they're starting to recognize the dangers of feeling like you always have to compete with that person who seems to always have the perfect family photo, seems to always have the perfect family vacation, always something is going, and that maybe you don't have those opportunities or something, and so you're constantly comparing. Or maybe you're looking at her husband and thinking that would be better because look who I'm stuck with. And so you're constantly comparing, and it's not a healthy way to live your life. It always keeps you less than, and that's why I brought up that point of that you're constantly always having to be first. And if you're not first, then you feel bad. And we can never always be first.
Okay. Amanda, do you feel like you always need to prove a point on social media? Like Tammy is saying, you want the best vacation, you want people to see. What point do you want to prove when you're on social media?
Honestly, I'm not trying to prove anything on social media. Like I said earlier on, it is my platform to communicate and entertain myself personally. Not that I'm comparing my stuff with another person. I'm not posting so that, that person posted something that's nice. I also need to post something that's proper. No, it's not that. But then it's for my own well-being, my own, entertainment and stuff. It's not comparison.
So why do you delete a picture? When you post, she did mention that you deleted and you're like, no, it's because I have 5 likes or fewer likes.
Exactly, because I want people to appreciate what I'm doing. It's a different world. The world that we're living in now and the world that we're living in back then is totally different. So when I post and I get 5 likes, then there's something wrong with this. I need to repost. Not that I'm doing it for what? For what you call, what did you say?
Acceptance?
For acceptance,
No, I'm not doing it for acceptance, but then for my own well-being. That's what I'm saying.
How do you feel when you post a picture and you get 100 likes?
When I post a picture, I don't just post people. I don't just post a picture. I first, I need to first critique this picture. How is it? Is it okay? Is it proper?
Do you
Should
edit?
I filter it? Should I edit it? Stuff, and then I post.
And
then that's what I'm saying. After all that effort I put trying to filter and edit the picture, and then I just get 5 likes. And I know, there's something wrong here. There's a problem here. I need to repost.
Okay. All right. Interesting. And Tammy, looking at her generation, right? There's a whole lot of competition that's going on already. What do you think could be the best way that this young generation could use the internet and make it useful for them?
Well, just what Amanda mentioned, that she's wanting to promote what she's doing and to do that. Everything has positives and negatives, and so there are positives in social media. But I'm just saying is that sometimes, and I'm not picking on you at all,
It's okay.
but the thing is that there gets this competition, or you feel bad. So let's just say you're not as pretty, and you struggle with that, and you buy the same outfit that your girlfriend did and she gets 500 likes, you try and do the same thing and you get 5 likes.
Yeah, that's true.
Then how do you feel about yourself? And see, and those people out there are not the ones who should be, who should be shaping and molding you. It should be your inner person. It should be your character. And yet we let complete strangers, because you can't possibly have 500 close friends.
Yes.
I mean, you might, you can't possibly have it, and so, and so if that is where your identity comes, you get very shallow, and in the long run, it's gonna harm you.
But then I think it all lies down to self-control. Because you
think you can control social media?
No, self-control.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking, you can actually look at social media on its own, and then there's reality, the life that I'm living in. So when I'm posting that, it's social media on its own.
Social media is fake?
No, it's not fake. I'm not saying it's fake, but then I'm saying it's self-control on my well-being.
Okay.
I can post something on social media, but then it might not be what I'm living.
Oh,
but I'm not saying
so
it's
it
fake.
is fake.
No, it's not fake.
You're living 2 different lives on social media and in reality.
It's not fake. Well, some people it might be fake one, but then it's not fake for some other people. Okay, no, I'm not making sense.
Okay,
what
are you saying?
Exactly.
Okay.
What I'm trying to say is, I might be able to post something, right? But then for some people, they might think, okay, no, this person might be posting lies or something else.
Okay, all right. But that's what you're living.
Exactly, that's what I'm living.
All right. Okay, I understand. I think it makes sense right now. Okay, Tammy, so you're a mother, and there's a lot of peer pressure that comes with social media upon this generation. What's your comment on that?
Well, I guess if you're going to do a contrast between peer pressure in my generation and peer pressure now, I would have just had it with the people that I would have directly been in contact with. So it might have been one girl, maybe 2, or maybe a popular group. But what I'm seeing now is that the peer pressure is everywhere. And it comes not just 1 or 2, it comes if somebody decides to make fun of you, then all of a sudden you're inundated with the whole school making fun of you. Instead of just having one person saying something mean to you and then having to deal with that on a personal level, you're bombarded with that. And how do you cope with that? When you're a young person, you would not have any of the skills to be able to handle like a paparazzi invasion on your privacy. And that's where I just feel like that's where the real danger comes, in that these young people need to understand that, look, that's not truth, and to be able to sort it out. And sometimes you can't even do that until you're older and more mature, and yet you live in that world when you don't have the skills to handle it.
All right. Okay. And Amanda, what's your comment on peer pressure, and how do you feel about it?
Okay, before I answer that, so you're saying that as I move on with ages,
well, as we mature, I mean, there is a good thing of getting older.
So as you mature, my love for social media, it's lessons. That's what
No,
you're saying.
I don't know that it will, because it is part of our entire life now. I mean, we're global, so it is part of our entire life. But I think that you start to learn limitations. Like I hear people doing a fast of social media. I have heard people saying that I've never been happier when I've been off social media. So there's like some sort of boundaries that you start to put on yourself as you start to go through those hiccups.
Also, sorry, before you answer that, tell me, are you on any social media platform? And have you ever felt like you need to be on social media, move with the times, create a Facebook account or anything like that?
Yeah, I have a Facebook account, but mine is Fruitful Harvest, and it's always trying to, help people understand, that children need help. And so I try to do that. But in my generation, I am always a day late and $1 short. I will be driving back and I think, man, why didn't I take that picture? Then, or I can think, that would be so good to say. Then I get home and then I'm old and I'm tired and I think, who cares? And then the days go on. But this generation thinks behind a camera.
Okay, all
You know,
right.
I mean, even when you were talking about filters, I go, whoa, what's that?
What's a
Do I
filter?
have one of
Yes.
those on my phone?
But you should also try them out. You should also try the filters
Okay.
on.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, I know they're probably there. I just never.
All right. So maybe now you can tell us the pressures that you face on social media. Well, peer pressure, everything, anything,
In social media in general.
generally.
Well, there are pressures, I can say that. That when you see someone posting something that's appetizing, that's nice, that's enticing, something like that, you know, and then you feel like, okay, that's really nice. Maybe I should also try it out. And then you try it out, and then it doesn't work for you. And it doesn't work for you, and then people don't actually, you know, appreciate it or whatsoever. You actually feel okay, no, so this is not good, this is not okay, and stuff. It is peer pressure. It is there. Besides it being there on social media, there's also peer pressure with friends that we hang out with parents as well. There's peer pressure because your friends will be like, oh, you're not on Facebook. How come you're not on Facebook? What's wrong with you? You're not on Facebook or your Twitter or whatsoever. How come we've never seen you tweeting or DMing or something? I'll DM you and like, no, I'm not on Instagram. I think, bruh, which world are you living in?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I think the peer pressure, it is there.
Okay.
It
And
is there.
you mentioned home. How do you relate with your parents at home? I mean, concerning social media.
Yeah, with social media, there is a positive and a negative side at home.
Okay.
Because sometimes people can shift to social media because they feel isolated at home.
Okay.
You know, at times your parents are busy with work or with their own stuff, cooking,
Right.
whatsoever. They don't have time for you. Even your siblings might not have time, especially if you're young, you've got sisters who are like 20-something or
Yeah.
whatever. They're always busy with their own stuff. They don't
Right.
have time
So
for
you
you.
find
So I
comfort
find comfort in talking to the people who actually reply me and talk to me.
Okay.
And we understand. That's why there are also things like support groups online.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
I can have support groups with people who have the same problems with me. Like, no, guys, I feel isolated at home. Do you also feel isolated? And then we talk about such stuff.
Right.
It's not just negative
Negative,
stuff.
so
there
there
are
is
positive
positive.
stuff
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
support groups and
Yes.
all that
Yes.
kind of thing. So in as much as we try to remove the social media out of the generation, it also helps in some other ways, in a lot of ways.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
And
I'm agreeing.
I actually did want to say, so yes, Tammy, how do you feel about that? The positive side, isolation at home. You're a parent, you're a grandma, I'm sure.
The thing is that there's always that problem. You know, I mean, that is not just new to this generation, but I do think that where some of the problems are coming is that you can listen to your music, you stick in your earphones,
Yeah.
you're not talking to your family. So you're you're struggling with something, but you're not communicating.
Maybe the reason why I'm not talking to you is because you don't know how to approach me. I don't know how to approach
Yeah.
you.
But you're on your phone the whole time.
Yeah.
Because maybe I've once approached and she didn't accommodate me well. Maybe she's like, what's wrong with you? You know, she starts shouting. And I'm like,
Shouting,
no.
okay.
But then I've got people who are doing A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3 to me. How do I approach you? And then you just give me that attitude. I'm like, okay, so let me just stick to my
Attitude
people.
from your
First of
parents?
all, I am not giving you any attitude, but maybe that does happen at home.
No, but then when you're a parent, I'm not a parent, fine. But then when you're an adult, you have your own issues at work, and then you come with your anger from there, and then you start showering it on us, and we didn't do anything really. We're just trying to talk to you proper.
And also, I feel probably that could lead to the reason why some teenagers end up committing suicide. You know, they think suicidal things, maybe even on social media.
Yeah.
There's people, everyone's living their life perfectly. Like you said, I post my pic and they become under pressure, which leads to this suicidal rates and deaths and stuff that we hear. I don't know.
The thing is that we need people. We need reality.
Yes.
So even though social media it has a lot of benefits,
Yeah.
but there are a lot of dangers that are hard for people to navigate. In fact, it's even hard. There's probably not even all the data out yet because it is something that is new and it's exploded worldwide.
Okay.
You know, and so we're still trying to navigate what are the positives, what are the dangers.
Okay.
And so some of them are that you're not communicating, whether it's from the adult, because it goes both ways. I mean, you
does,
could
it
have a
does.
bad day as a
Yes.
kid
Yeah.
and then just, talk to the hand, which
Yeah.
is what my generation when kids were doing to me.
Yes.
And, and it's hard to communicate in a
Yes.
family. And then especially like around the dinner table, I mean, even people in my generation, I can go out to dinner and they're all checking their phones. I make a personal idea to keep my phone either face down or in the car.
Yeah.
You know, so you need to stay close
So
to
you
it
can
because you
interact
never
with
know.
people.
But when you're with people, you need to be with people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And develop this kind of conversation with
Okay.
one another, because this is what is more real
Yes, it
than putting it into a few words on what you're doing, or trying to put your best foot forward,
Yes.
like pretending that you're happy when you're not.
Okay. All right. Viewers, we'll take a short break. Join us after these messages. Welcome back to Pink and Purple. I'm still here with Tammy and Amanda, and unfortunately we have to cut off the game because this is an interesting topic. So 2 things, Tammy. Moral values. We've lost moral values in terms of when it comes to social media, right? We've seen a lot of young people showing off too much skin, posting nude pictures. Let's discuss that in detail.
Well, from where I look at it is I feel like there needs to be a responsible platform, maybe for social media, to start to educate these young kids on what are the ramifications of doing that.
Yeah.
You know, giving them the skills so that they can understand, instead of being influenced by so many likes, because obviously more boys will like the less you're wearing.
Yeah.
So then you get that, but that is not what you want to be liked for.
Yeah.
It truly isn't. And so, you know, if you can help educate the young people on you know, navigating through this, it does, there needs to be a huge campaign actually in giving these kids the skills so that they can at least make a educated decision on what they want to do. And right now, the only influence that they're getting is they've got friends asking them to do it. Their friends are doing it. Boys that they don't even know might be asking them to do it. And then they open it up to the entire world. And now you fast forward, maybe they want to be a lawyer. And now they've done this when they're 16.
Yes,
Now
so
they're
now it's
in
been on
court
fixed.
and somebody shows off all those pictures of you when you were 16,
Yes.
when you had no idea, and now it wrecks your whole life.
Yeah. Okay.
And
all
you're
right.
embarrassed and you're ashamed what you were not done then.
Okay.
And these kids have no understanding of what they're playing into.
Okay.
And so
All right, Amanda, what do you have to say about it?
Well, I think, well, I'm supporting what you're saying.
good.
I'm supporting what you're saying because, but then sex sells, you know. When you post, we've got models, models will advertise bikinis.
Okay.
They can't cover up to advertise
Right,
that.
because the point
The point is the bikini. So
All
if
right.
you wear a dress on top of it, how am I going to see what you're trying to promote?
Okay.
So in which I understand what she's saying, yes, it's fine. But then when I want to promote something, I have to reveal.
All right.
I'm trying to reveal maybe some shimmering lotion. People need to see the lotion, so I have to reveal that. So we've got models who do that, we've got other people, photographers and other stuff like that. So I believe that the more you reveal, it sells. Sex sells. So I
Hence
believe.
why people do post revealing pictures. Interesting. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming onto the show. It's been really lovely and interesting, and I'm sure the viewers at home learned a lot.
Thank you so much for
All
having
right.
us.
That's all we had for you from me, Temipida, and the crew behind the scenes. It's goodbye. Thank you so much for watching Pink and Purple.